Rebecca, a powerful woman, was feared by all. She is a great sorcerer. Her eyes are always wide open, and she keeps her face straight, sitting upright like a queen in her home. Rebecca is married to Gabriel, a very slim man. He's so slim that the villagers gossiped, saying he looks like someone who will break while walking. But his wife looks so scary. Are you sure he feeds well? Or is he the one doing all the household choices? How come he never adds weight? Even though they gossiped, they couldn't say those words close to Rebecca. They feared she would make them disappear. Unlike what the villagers thought of Rebecca, she's a sweet soul. She always made time to bond with her kids, playing games in the evening under the mango tree in her home, something they all looked forward to. The family lived in peace and harmony. Gabriel is a farmer and has plenty of yam barns. He is so wealthy because he takes quality time to take care of his yams. He makes sure to remove weeds, water them appropriately, apply fertilizer, and weed his farmland regularly. He has been doing this since he inherited the yam barns from his father. Gabriel took his son Victor to the yam barns whenever he was free. He wanted him to know the importance of proper care and nurture. One day, while Gabriel was in one of his yam barns, his son came in and saw the way he carefully arranged the yams, sorting them according to size and tying them firmly to each part. Victor quickly said, "Papa, the way you take care of the yams, one would think they are members of the family." Gabriel responded, "My son, the yams are members too, don't you know?" They both laughed. "Victor, it's important to take care of everything you're assigned to do, no matter how little or how big it might seem. Make sure you give it your very best. This applies to family too. I know a lot of people mock me for being slim, but my father was also slim," Gabriel continued. "Your mother has tried everything to make me add weight, but to no avail. Also, don't let what the villagers say about us get to you. What matters is we know the truth." "Yes, Papa," Victor responded. Victor stayed till evening time so he could go home with his father. The next day, Rebecca decided to go to the market after a long while. She always sent her daughter to the market, but today she decided to visit by herself. Her husband's birthday was coming soon, and she wanted to prepare his favorite white soup with pounded yam. The moment she got to the market, she noticed everywhere was calm, as if no one was around. She turned around and saw people, but to her greatest surprise, they weren't talking or buying anything, as if they were all waiting for her to finish her shopping and leave. She majestically walked down the market road, bought all she needed to make her soup, and left. While going home, she couldn't stop thinking about what had happened. Even though she didn't react at that moment, she was concerned. When she got home, she quickly called her daughter Grace. "Grace, she called. "Mama, I'm coming," responded Grace, who was taking in the clothes she had just washed. "Grace, dear, today when I got to the market, everyone stopped buying and waited for me to finish. Then they all returned to their activities. Has this ever happened to you? Have you been treated as an outcast in this village?" Her daughter responded, "No, Mama, this hasn't happened to me before, but a lot of people are scared of you. They fear you will kill them or something." "Me kill them? Why would I do such a thing? I am a sorcerer, but I use my powers to help the king and this kingdom." "Grace, do you see me the way they do?" Her daughter quickly said, "No." While they were still discussing, her husband Gabriel arrived with Victor. They were just returning from the farm. Gabriel noticed the displeased tone in his wife's voice and asked, "What happened, my dearest?" Rebecca narrated what happened that day, and Gabriel quickly responded, "You shouldn't allow that to bother you. The villagers will always gossiping and act in accordance to their gossip." Rebecca quickly said, "But this act has never happened before, so why now?" Victor spoke up. "I heard one of the villagers say you killed one of your ex-boyfriends who refused to get married to you and chose your friend over you." Rebecca was in disbelief. "Why should I kill Friday?" she exclaimed. "I see." So Rebecca started narrating. "Friday and I met after one of the festive seasons. I sat close to him during a cultural dance and we started talking. Friday and I got fond of each other. We had a meeting point behind the stream where we played like children. I was so happy. I had found love. I was always happy at the breaking of a new day because I would run to our meeting point just to see him. This kept going on, and I was losing who I really was. Friday was so sweet. He knew the right words to say to make you feel better. He was too good to be true, but I believed him. I didn't want to trust my instinct then. Until one fateful day, while returning from helping my mother pick up clothes from the tailor, I saw my friend Hope with someone. I didn't even know who Hope was with. I only went there to greet my friend. When I got there, to my greatest surprise, it was Friday. He was kissing my friend. I felt bad, but I confronted him immediately, and he responded, "You should be grateful that someone like me is hanging out with you. You're not even my type. I have always been with Hope. It was just a bet between I and my brothers to see who could win you over, and I won." On hearing this, I fell on the floor and cried my eyes out. I couldn't believe I was a bet. The problem wasn't over. A few months later, I found out I was pregnant. My world was beginning to fall right before my very eyes. I became a shadow of myself. What kept me going was my mother, who told me to go stay with my grandmother until I gave birth so that I wouldn't feel ashamed. I went to stay with my grandmother. Oh, bless her soul. She taught me everything I know about sorcery. But she was a good person, not evil. I gave birth to my son. Victor quickly asked, "Mama, is that me?" "No, my child. He is your Uncle Paul. My mother adopted him as her last child after I gave birth to him." I forgot all about Friday, but I never forgave him. When I returned to this village, Friday had already gotten married to Hope, my friend. I wished them well, but I cut ties with them both and made my walls very high. I didn't want to be fooled twice. I had rules. I didn't want anyone deceiving me again. All I did then was stay at home, help my mother when she needed me, or visit the palace to have a chat with the king. The king found out about my powers after I had returned, so he always invited me when he needed me. I didn't allow the villagers to know I was pregnant or I had just given birth. The rumor about me liking Friday, who was my best friend's boyfriend, had already spread like wildfire. So I made sure no one messed around with me. Even when they were joking, they weren't permitted to mention my name for any reason. Friday got sick last year and was brought to the palace. Rebecca continued. The king asked me to help save him, but I couldn't. I tried magic, it wasn't working. I also got all the herbs I knew of, but I couldn't save him. No drug I made could stay down his stomach. There was one particular herb that he could take without throwing up, but I knew that wasn't enough to keep him alive. I told the king his fate and asked that he be sent to another village, but Hope refused. So how come I am now the killer? I am so glad the king witnessed all this. At least it won't be like last time when the story was told from one side, and everyone believed I chased after Friday without even knowing I was a bet to him. She turned, and everyone looked sad. Her daughter Grace had tears in her eyes. Rebecca hugged Grace and told her everything was fine. "Your father knows about all this, but chose to still marry me," she said. Grace then said, in a soft tone, "Mama, I'm sorry you had to go through all this. You're a strong woman." Gabriel tried to change the topic. "So what's the plan for my birthday? You know I said anyone who beats me in our AYO game will have a gift from me. Who is ready to be the champion?" His eyes met with Rebecca's, and she raised her eyebrows in thanks to him. The next day, Rebecca went to the palace to tell the king all that was happening and pleaded that it should be addressed. She explained why the villagers felt she killed Friday. The king told the town crier to announce a gathering at the village square, and every family must be duly represented. When the villagers gathered, the king explained, "Rebecca isn't who you call her. She's been of great help to this kingdom. She was the one who told me the best approach to use when erosion was about to clear our village. She also warned me not to go for war between us and the neighboring village, but to create peace." He mentioned so many things she had done. He then asked, "So why are you all calling her a witch?" The villagers looked at one another and thought in their heart, "Is that what he called us here to say?" "It's not to banish her from the village." So someone from the crowd asked, "Why did she kill Friday Hope's husband? And why is it that it's only her husband's yam barns that is doing well? The king said angrily, Friday died from a mysterious sickness no one could cure. She advised taking him to a different village, but his wife Hope refused. Even though physicians were brought to our village, they couldn't treat him. So why didn't you ask his wife what killed her husband? Why accuse someone else? The king continued, For Gabriel's yam barns, treat yours the way he treats his, and see if you would have a reason to complain. The king then asked the villagers to apologize to Rebecca. The villagers all bowed their heads and pleaded for her forgiveness. Rebecca told them she had forgiven them. All that mattered to her was that the issue had been addressed. Something to hold on to. The fact that people make rules to follow in life and adhere to them doesn't make them bad people. We all know where there are no rules, anything is allowed. We shouldn't see things from one side without asking questions. A lot of people are quick to give their opinions on things they know nothing about, without considering the harm it could cause on another person's life. Thank you for watching my stories. To my returning subscribers, thanks a lot, I really appreciate. If you're new on this channel, welcome to the family. On this channel we tell beautiful African tales. So, always grab your popcorn when you get a notification from us. Also, please don't forget to like, leave a comment on how you feel about the characters in each stories. Share to loved ones, as it helps the channel to grow. Until then, we will meet again in our next story. Bye for now.